Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm pretty excited because I'm going to be talking about the completely redesigned Helinox Chair One. This thing is based on one of my favorite chairs of all time, the one that I've used for the last like 5 years, like pretty much every camping trip that I've been on. But they made some significant changes to this, and I believe lowered the price on it a little bit over what the old one that I had was. So there's just nothing but a win-win here for anyone looking for a Helinox chair right now. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to walk you through everything. They've changed the design of the components. They've gotten better at reusing things and recycling things so that it's a more ethically sourced chair. So again, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to totally set it all up, show you everything in action, and show you why, if you are looking for a chair, this is one of the best ones on the market for the money that will last you for a lifetime. So if you want to learn more about the Chair One redesign, stay tuned.
Where it came from, but you got it, I got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, so as I mentioned today, I'm talking about this Helinox Chair One high back. They have changed just a number of things on this bag, but one of the things that remains the same is that they have this nice sort of molly webbing on the back here. So if you wanted to attach this to a bed rack or inside of a cap, or attach other things to the chair to make sure that you have it when you get to camp, like they do have a seat warmer that's basically like a quilted thing that you can put on these if you're a winter and fall camper. You can use these molly panels to attach that. As usual for Helinox stuff, they've got handles on both ends, which are awesome, make it super easy to grab and pull out. And then they've got this sort of grommet on the bottom here that allows, if there was some moisture or something in there, it allows it to drip out so that it doesn't stay in the bag and get moldy. So now opening it, they've retained the draw strap like they've used on their previous chairs, but I love this because it just makes unzipping it way easier because you can just pull it all at once like a handle. But they have stopped it. Used to go all the way down to the bottom here, and now they've stopped it right there. But what that does is it makes it easier for you to slide the chair into the bag, and then you don't have to zip it as far to get your chair back in the bag. So when you pull the chair itself out, the material is 300D polyester, so it's super heavy duty, super high quality. I've never had a burn hole or any sort of cuts or tears in any of my chairs. Again, I've used my old Helinox chair for about the last 4 or 5 years, so these things last for a really long time. Are they more expensive than the Chinese knockoffs? Yes, but what you're getting is one chair that's more comfortable than those chairs, better built, and is going to last a lot longer than those cheap chairs. Now, I went with the Coyote tan color. My other tactical chair is black, which I do like black, but I wanted to mix things up a little bit. Plus, it makes it easier to tell the difference between the two. Now, another thing that they've done, though, is they've redesigned and strengthened all these plastic connection pieces, but like normal with the Helinox chairs, they've all got these bungee corded legs that basically kind of almost set themselves up. When you pop this thing out here, you're going to see everything has its own place, so you never have to be confused or worried about what's going to go where. It all just goes into its own sort of spots, and it's really super easy to set up. But again, the fact that they've redesigned and completely re-engineered these connection pieces to make them even stronger than they were before is a great sign for people like me that are looking for products that are going to last for a really long time. So now just to show you this thing getting set up, as you can see, the poles again kind of arranged themselves exactly how they're supposed to be. On the newly redesigned chair, they also now have increased support and strength in the shoulder section and also across the hips. And they've raised the height of the chair so that you're not sitting on the ground. That's one of my biggest complaints with most of these type of chairs, is that I always sort of feel like I'm like 2 inches off the ground. And when I look at my friends in their big director style chair or whatever, sure, theirs take up a lot more room, but they just look more comfortable. But with the Helinox stuff, again, these are super comfortable and higher off the ground than most of these types of chairs. So you're going to put your back supports in there, and then we're just going to grab these corners and they're going to go into here. Now, one thing to point out is on the old chairs, this used to be sort of like almost like a stitched fabric, and it was kind of a pain because it would go flat and then you'd have to kind of pull it open to get it to go over the bottom of the leg. Now it's made out of this material that they use for their connecting pieces on the chair itself. So it just makes sliding it in there just really simple. And to me, I feel like it's going to be even stronger than the old chairs. I don't have to worry about that fabric ripping out. So when you set it up, that is what the chair looks like. Another really nice thing is they put this piece here, right, that is Velcroable on the back. So you could put anything that you want in here to bolster this. If you wanted to make this more squishy or cushy, you could. I'm sure that they sell a proprietary sort of pillow or insert or something for that. But I could put anything in there. I could just shove a sweatshirt in there if I don't have the pillow piece, and I can make this more comfortable to sit in. Speaking of which, though, let's sit in it really quick and just see how comfortable this thing is. So just immediately, I will say, because I've spent a lot of time in Helinox chairs and other competitors' chairs and things, it feels wider. So it does feel like the base is wider. Whereas before I kind of felt like I was sitting in a cup, and it wasn't uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. Again, it's my favorite chair I've ever had is my other Helinox chair. But I always did feel a little pinched on the sides. It kind of felt like I was right up against the sides. But in this chair, I mean, I can spread my legs all the way apart. I have tons of vertical space between the posts, and it just feels more comfortable on your butt. And then on the back, you know, it fully supports my shoulders and everything. I can lean back in this thing and be super comfy. And again, if I put something in there to pad it further, then I think that will make it even better. But the chair itself just feels super comfortable, super compact. For how comfortable and high-backed this thing is, it's actually a pretty compact, sort of smaller chair. But again, super strong. You can tell that this thing is going to last for years to come. And I'm really impressed with it overall. Now, one tip is using this Velcro thing. I've always kind of been like annoyed with that I have to do something with the bag, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in here inside the Velcro, kind of on the top, and then I'm just going to fold this flap down over it just to hold it. So you don't have to do that. That's not an approved method or anything, but that's what I'm going to do just to make sure that my bag itself doesn't get muddy or stepped on or anything lost anywhere, and it just stays with the chair. And then I can be super comfortable and not have to worry about losing the bag. All right, guys, so that will do it for the Helinox Chair One redesign. As you can see, I mean, they took a chair that was already amazing and they just made slight little tweaks to it to further improve the longevity and the length of time that you can keep these things, right? For about $150, a chair like this, it folds down super small, right? Takes up very little room in your stuff, is very, very well made and is going to last for years and years, and is also super comfortable and supportive. It holds up to 320 pounds. You really can't go wrong with this thing. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple every week, so there's tons of stuff about overlanding, camping, that sort of thing on this channel, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Also below this video is a join button. That's just kind of a passive way to support the channel, and it also gets you early access to all the videos. If you want a more active way to be involved with the channel, there's also a link to my Patreon group where we've got a ton of awesome people. We have a 24/7 Discord where we chat about our rigs and our gear and that sort of thing. We do a once-a-month Zoom call, and we're getting together once or twice a year in person just to get together and sit around a fire and camp. Then, of course, there is a link to my website down below where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers. So things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or I hate people so I camp. So if you're into that stuff, definitely check that out. And then last but not least, there is a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Totally free to join, tons of awesome people in there, and different from the big groups. There's no bullying or anything like that. We're all just trying to be honest and help each other. You can ask questions without getting made fun of. But again, thanks so much for watching. Hope you get out and explore this weekend, and take care.